back to the Soulful Eclectic. I'm your host, Diana Collins. And if you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you so much. If you are coming back, I want to say welcome back. And I appreciate you for taking the time to come back and listen to the podcast. And hopefully, something we say can bless you or someone that you care about. So please do share. So this episode is actually part 2 of Nicole D'Agostino's testimony of her life, her survival of domestic violence. We're going to talk about counseling, seeking therapy, which again is taboo in the Black community, but how she continues on this road of healing with not only herself, her children, and also her current husband of 17 years, finding love again. So with that, I lead us into part 2 of Nicole's voice. Nicole, when you decided to finally say something to your mother-in-law or your ex-mother-in-law, right? Yeah, I don't want to give you that claim. I don't want to claim that for you anymore, but
right.
When you went to her and you were saying what her son was doing to you, and she said, "What did you do?" You were victimized all over again by someone else.
Well, there was. I mean, even with my ex-father-in-law, he'd come, and I remember calling the police, and I think I shared this with you, Ono, when we were talking. The police would come. I'm thinking, okay, great. They're going to arrest him. They're going to take him to jail, and that's going to be my time to break. As long as he's gone, I can get packed up, all of that. Because his father worked for the state, literally, I kid you not, it seemed like 3 hours later, he was back. Like they drove him around the corner, had to talk with him, and then just brought him right back home. Never no prosecuting, nothing. The state didn't take it out, nothing. So when I would voice, yes, I want to press charges. Yes, it's like it went out the window. So, what do I do?
So, have you had counseling for you and the kids?
I did go to counseling. My daughter went to counseling. My son, he went when he was probably about 8, because he was having behavior. So I said, okay, let's figure out what was going on. And it was the absenteeism. My ex not being around, so son needing that outlet to be able to express that. My daughter did. I went, and I just found it again. For me, it was very early on, needing that acceptance, not having it from my father, not getting it from my stepdad, not getting the acceptance and the love that I was worthy of from my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
So when you become codependent, that's a real thing, codependency.
Yes.
So when I get out there and now I'm in the mindset, okay,
mm-hmm.
I'm done, I'm not coming back, I have to survive by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That independence, it got in me. And I said, I found my worth. Like, I know what I'm worthy of. I know what I'm not going to put up with. I know I'm not going down that road. And even though he told me I would never be anything, nobody would want me because I had 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that play in your head, stupid. You're not even pretty enough. Oh, your dad didn't even want you. He didn't want to adopt you. He didn't want to accept you. Who's going to accept you now? I've heard it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took it. It was like a body, weirdly enough, a body of armor to build my strength.
Yes.
To where now part of my refrigerator, you can't tell me shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not nothing. And it also taught me that you can't put your trust in no man or woman for that matter, because men experience it too. Like, you have to put your trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
That He'll send you the right person that knows your worth, that'll love you correctly how you want to be loved. And it's still a healing process. We talked about this. I have triggers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say something wrong, I hear something, and what? I'm sorry, what?
Right.
I didn't, you know.
Be ready to fight.
Right. You hear the, don't start, Nicole, but I'm hearing, let's get ready to run in my brain. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just don't never, ever want to feel that amount of disrespect
Mm-hmm.
ever again in life.
So how hard was it for you to find love again?
It was very hard.
Okay.
It was very hard. I mean, it was hard. I dated a couple that were, but they showed them signs, and I was like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
we can't do this. So, about 3 years, 4 years later, I found it.
Okay.
And it was funny because my husband was broken too.
Mm-hmm.
He came from an abusive marriage. So, two broken people healing and building each other up. And then that's why we now going on 17 years.
Ah, God bless. That's amazing.
Awesome. So it was just, God had to be in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was two people that, this is what I'm not going to put up with. This is what you're not going to put up with. And you have children and I have children. And mine absolutely cannot see this. And I know that yours absolutely cannot see this. So we have to build a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And not try to have any dysfunction amongst us. There will be dysfunction on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Let that get in on this blended family that we're trying to do.
Right. Now, did you guys seek couples counseling together before, after, during your marriage at all?
We've done it during.
Okay.
We've done it during, and it was very interesting because, like I said, new counselor versus me doing it on my own, she kind of pointed out some of the same things with me. Like, she challenged me. I had to write a letter. She challenged me to write a letter to my father.
Mm.
She's deceased. She challenged me to write a letter to my stepdad. But it was for that forgiveness for me, not for them.
Mm-hmm.
And she had challenged me to write one to my ex-husband. But I had to explain to her that I couldn't do that. And she said, well, will you tell me why? I said, because it's no longer about me and him. It's about the children and the way he treated my children and the way you bailed on your children. It won't allow me to write that letter.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've forgiven you for what you've done to me,
right.
But I can't write a letter saying that I forgive you for what you put me and the kids through, because you're still giving them that emotional pain of being absent.
Mm-hmm. How did your husband feel finding out all the things that you've been through? What was his stance on it?
He was shocked. I think he was shocked because he was raised not to hit a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though he went through that turmoil of that marriage, bad marriage, and he probably should have jumped on her plenty of times, but he didn't. I think he was blown away by some of the stories that I shared.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my daughter is, getting to know him, they're building their relationship, and she shares stuff, he's like, I don't understand how you could do that. And then I think for him seeing that You have these kids, as far as my ex-husband goes, you have an opportunity to be in their life and you choose not to. And he's seeing it firsthand. It's like, wow. He just doesn't, how do you do that?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then my ex-husband telling him, no, I never did that. And my husband's like, she wasn't the one who told me. It was your daughter.
I love that's a narcissist.
That's
very,
very
narcissistic.
And I remember him telling me, could you please stop telling him that I did that? That was a very dark time in my life. I don't remember that.
You recall.
Right. Police reports say otherwise.
So do you that how do I want to word this? Do you think that maybe the reason he was doing these things is he probably, when he was younger, experienced his mom getting abused? Or because I often think that in order for somebody to just do some evil stuff, right? Or is it really true that it's just some evil ass people in the world?
You know what? I think it goes hand in hand, and let me tell you why. Because his background was Muslim, so his parents, his mother was taught to be submissive. I'm Christian. I'm young. I got a mouth. I'm not gonna be quiet.
See, people submissive.
That's what they used it for. You get what I'm saying? Like that's them. That's
them.
not us.
Right.
We know what the difference is.
Yes.
Whatever that is in regards to their religion was so heavy. Like she couldn't go out after dark. And, I remember going out to my mama's house and I'm coming back and he's like, you weren't supposed to leave after the sun went down. I didn't convert. And I think that's what the problem was too. I didn't convert and I wasn't going to.
So now that you say that, remember we were talking at the meeting and we said domestic violence abuse can be physical, emotional,
financial, spiritual.
So we know the background and the story of your domestic violence, but what is the surface of your domestic violence that you want other people to know? Because remind you, people think that domestic violence is only hidden. And you have just said it, that it could be because of his religion.
For me,
so what is your surface? We know your story,
right?
Surface of your story.
My surface was spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, and financial.
Yep.
It was all of them.
And bullying too,
because I was codependent on him. I didn't know how to pay no bills. I didn't know how to do none of that.
People was making your fault.
Right. Use that as a leverage. Well, here's your little bit of money to do this. I'm the one paying all the bills, so I'm the one who can go and go and go. And you sit right here and raise these kids.
So you had to go out there and relearn how to be survive, how to acknowledge yourself as a woman, a mother, and establish all of that independently.
And rebirth your self-worth.
The
love for you.
I have to love myself first. Yes. I have to love myself first before allowing anybody else to love me.
Yes. And that's what I was going to say, because you have to have a level of love for yourself before you can expect someone else to love you. So in 3 years, for you to get that, to invite someone else into your space to join you in loving you. Not to just love you, but to join you in loving you and help lift you is damn amazing.
But it's a continuing process.
No.
It's a continuing
process. No.
It's
Wait a minute. It is amazing. Own it. Okay? It is a continual process. It is a journey. But damn it, you did it. You are doing it. Okay?
Thank you.
You own that shit.
Thank you, Diana.
Okay?
Owning that shit. Yes, it is a process. Keep going with that process.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say own it. You made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're here and you're able to tell your story. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't get
to even sit here and say that. All right.
So this is what I want, because I know we're about to get off in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you are an amazing person. I honestly really do not know how we cross paths.
I don't either. I'm like, this is crazy. I was totally lip glosses.
I don't know how to cross paths, but I think that you are amazing.
Let me know when you. 1 second. Let me know when you make it and check in. Okay? I'm not playing with you. I want to hear from you tomorrow too. All right. I love you. Bye-bye. Okay. Sorry.
I just wanted you to know that you are amazing. You are amazing for speaking up. You are amazing for even knowing that it's a process, but you'll have the strength to keep going.
It is. Well, thank you. I'm thankful that like I said, I don't know. It started on a lip gloss journey. It just started on a lip gloss journey, and I feel like 20 glam gloss lip glosses, and continue to support. And I think you are amazing. I think Diana is amazing. I am excited to be a part of this platform and to get it out there because there are so many.
What do you want women that is probably keeping silent? Because remember, people is watching our posts. People know that what we're doing, and just because they don't comment, just because they don't say anything, what is it from your journey that you want a woman that might feel silent and scared to speak up? What would you tell them?
I tell them, don't be afraid. Speak up. I don't care if you have to write it on a piece of paper and slide it across to a stranger. Or if you're in the workplace and that coworker or that manager, I just need to speak to you for 5 minutes. Speak up. Don't keep quiet about it. And I just wish in the process of, if it happens and you have to call the police, hold them accountable. I wish I would have did that back then. I wish I wouldn't have just got that moment of, okay, yay, and followed through with it. Like, made sure, like, I don't want him coming back here, Your Honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold them accountable.
Right.
But speak up.
Absolutely.
So, I'm going to take you to a different place. Have you ever written your younger self a letter?
No. I haven't. I only did the 3 letters. My father, my dad, and I wrote the letter to the letter to the ex about me forgiving him, but not what he did to my children.
Nothing you have to do, right? Just a suggestion. Write a letter to yourself, forgiving yourself, right? Because even though we are on this journey, and even though we are in a good place of healing and we're continuing to heal, we forgive all those other people.
Don't forgive ourselves.
We forget to forgive ourselves. We forget to forgive ourselves for allowing the hurt, allowing the pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't forgive ourselves for
What? In my room.
We don't forgive ourselves for putting our children in that space, right?
Right.
So at some point,
I think we should do that.
yeah,
I think that we should also make that a part of the platform, because you're right, we don't.
We
I
don't
haven't
forgive
wrote a
ourselves.
letter to younger self.
I've never wrote a letter to myself.
We forget, and we think about other
people, right?
and we always put ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. I did, girl. I'm gonna do that.
Yep. So
I agree. I definitely agree. That is a good idea, and I'm gonna do that. I've never done that.
Yep. It's one of those things where you do both. You write a letter to forgive yourself, one, and then you write a letter to your younger self. Something you wish you would have known, you wish someone would have told you. Something that you feel you wanted to hear from someone else before entering that relationship.
I like that.
I think even writing a letter to your now husband is something that we can do, because this 1,000 times too. I think it's very important when you get into a relationship, when you get into another marriage, that you are very open
about
what you've been through.
Because if you don't, what did we say? It will not last.
It won't last.
It won't last, because those triggers that we don't have until it occur,
they're real.
They are.
They're real. And if you don't, hey, this is what you're dealing with up front, to give them that choice if they're going to ride and rock with you and not mandated and then surprise. No. You have to tell it up front.
Yep. Tell it up front. But
it might be something they probably don't want to deal with that.
Right.
They've never even experienced it. There are some couples that one person has been so sheltered all their life. And you know what I'm saying? You've been through it. If you don't get it up front, that's just destined.
Yes.
For failure, because they're not able to understand it. They're looking like, okay, what I got myself into? She crazy or he crazy? Like, dang. Like it's like she got a whole other person living inside of her. We gonna have to live together. They gonna think we're crazy. Right. Be like, sometimes she be in the kitchen talking to herself. Like, oh no. Oh, that's just my friend. Like, wait, what? It's gotta be. You have to stand in your truth. You have to share your truth. And own it.
And it begins with yourself. And it begins with yourself.
Yes, ma'am. I like that letter thing. I'm going to do that tonight.
So, I mean...
You know what?
The other thing, before I forget, is I think I'm going to have us all do that. And as we close out, we're going to read our letters to ourselves.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We're going to read them.
That's a good idea.
Also, all right. With the letters, you should also bring them to the documentary. and you should read your letter to yourself on live camera.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Going to be people that's going to see it, and I think that the women that is silent and might possibly still be going through domestic violence, they need to hear that.
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome idea.
That can be the beginning of something that may break their silence if they write a letter to themselves.
Right.
Exactly.
I like that idea.
You didn't know I was a therapist too?
Girl.
Oh, yeah, well, you are. My bad.
You are, and I think that I got fuzzy feelings. And
oh, I love
this is
it.
good.
This is good. This is amazing, and I feel like there's going to be amazing outcomes from this. We just have to be diligent and resilient through the process.
Yes.
Because there are naysayers out there that think this is okay.
Yep.
And they're going to be ready to go to battle. And as survivors and warriors that we are already armored down. We can do it.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
We got this. All right. So, plans.
Is there anything?
Love y'all. This is such an amazing blessing. And again, girl, I thank you. You are something, honey. You are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
Amazing.
On that note, I just want, like I said, my lip brand is not just a lip brand.
No.
It's and I had my mom and I had my dad, but I didn't have anybody. I was alone. I was here alone. I didn't have nobody. If it wasn't for my mama and y'all, I don't even think I would be here.
You know what?
I'm it, not just for me, but if I felt that when I was going through my situation, I'm pretty sure
there's a lot of people.
So this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's my passion, and I don't want to hear none of my friends can die from domestic violence. I already been through that last year. I don't want to deal with that again. Yes. So we have to do something.
Yeah, and
let's get it going.
And I'm very blessed and honored to be a part of that. I've been silent a very long time. So this is a blessing, right? To get it out there, to say it, to do it, and not only from a victim's perspective, a survivor's perspective, but also as a healer. I feel like this is what I was meant to do. I did not know what I was going to do with any of the thing that I'm doing, my podcast, anything. This is what it was meant for. To give a voice, to give healing where it's needed. So, with that, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am blessed and honored to be in all of your presence, honestly.
Me too.
Right? Me too. I'm thankful for you.
Right. This is for my tribe. My mom said, keep finding your tribe until you find the correct tribe.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So
it's so true. So true.
One of the things I say all the time, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Ooh, we need a shirt that say that. Yeah.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Okay. And we need another shirt that says protect your energy at all costs.
At all costs. At all costs.
In your peace.
Your energy and your peace. Exactly. So, yes. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was an amazing journey that I went on, and I'm so blessed to be a part of that journey. So, again, thank you, Nicole, for sharing your story. Thank you, Ona, for being a part of the podcast. Thank you for elevating domestic violence to that next level, or starting to elevate it to that next level to keep the conversation going. So, again, I am blessed and grateful to be a part of this journey with both of you ladies. And I wanted to share that every state, every city has a shelter that is made for women and men who are victims of domestic violence. So just know you are not alone, and there is someone who can help out there. And I want to also share that you cannot do this alone. So if you don't have anyone within your circle, sometimes you have to reach outside your circle for that helping hand. So if this resonates with anyone, if this provides any healing and you want to share, please, please, please share it. And also, if you have any suggestions for those who are survivors and those who are trying to get out, those who are still continuing on their journey, please share. I love having conversations. I love the feedback from those who are listening. So please send me an email. You can email me dc@thesoulfuleclectic.com. You can also find me on my website, thesoulfuleclectic.com. And also you can find me on Facebook, Soulful Eclectic with DC, and also on Instagram. So if you haven't already, subscribe, rate my show. I greatly appreciate you and your support. And share. I'm on Spotify, iHeart, and also Apple Podcasts. So, with that, I will say God bless, take care, namaste, and I wish you all peace in your not only your physical health, but also your mental health. Namaste.